There are people who say they put God first. But stop for a moment. Not what you say, not what you believe, but how you live. Because that's where the truth shows up. In your decisions, in your priorities, in how you react when life hits you when you're tired, stressed, or afraid. So ask yourself something honestly. If someone watched your life for 24 hours, would they see that God is first? Or would they see distractions first, people first, fear first, yourself first? Because here's the uncomfortable truth. You can believe in God, pray sometimes, even talk about faith, and still live as if everything depends on you. And that's exactly why so many people feel overwhelmed. That's why they feel stuck. That's why they feel empty. Even when things seem fine on the outside, because belief without surrender still leaves you in control. And control is exhausting. But the moment you stop just believing and start surrendering, everything begins to shift. Not magically, not instantly, but deeply. Today I'm going to walk you through 7 real changes that happen when you truly put God first. And as you listen, don't just agree. Pause. Reflect. Where are you still holding control? Where are you still putting something above God? What are you afraid to surrender? Because this is not just motivation. This is a decision point. First shift. Clarity enters your life. When God is not first, your life feels crowded. Everything demands attention at the same time. Your work, your goals, other people's expectations, your fears, your desires. And when everything feels urgent, you live in confusion. You wake up already overwhelmed, already reacting. But when God becomes first, something quiet but powerful happens. Your priorities begin to align. Not because life becomes easier, but because your vision becomes clearer. You start to see what truly matters and what was only noise. Let me ask you something. How many things are you chasing right now that don't actually matter in the long run? How much energy are you wasting on things that will not change your life? Putting God first cuts through that. It simplifies your life. Try this. Tomorrow morning, before you touch your phone, before the world enters your mind, pause. Even 60 seconds. God, guide me today. Align my thoughts. Align my steps. That moment will change your entire day. Clarity replaces chaos. And instead of moving under pressure, you begin to move with purpose. Second shift, anxiety loses its grip. Anxiety grows where control lives. When you feel like everything depends on you, your mind never stops. You try to control outcomes, predict problems, fix everything before it even happens, and slowly, it drains you. But when you put God first, you make a decision. I am not in control of everything, and I don't have to be. That doesn't remove your problems, but it removes the weight you were never meant to carry alone. You stop holding everything inside your head, and you start releasing it. Through prayer, through trust, through surrender. Again and again, even when your mind tries to take it back. And here's the truth. Peace is not something that arrives instantly. It's something that grows every time you let go. Until one day, you realize that what used to overwhelm you no longer controls you. Your decisions become wiser when God is not at the center. Decisions are reactive. You follow emotions. You chase urgency. You move fast. but without direction. But when God is first, you slow down. And slowing down is not weakness, it's wisdom. You start asking better questions. Is this right? Or just comfortable? Is this aligned? Or just convenient? Am I acting from faith or from fear? You begin to wait, and waiting protects you. Because many of the mistakes in life don't come from lack of opportunity, but from rushing into the wrong ones. When you put God first, you stop chasing quick results and start building lasting outcomes. Fourth shift, your relationships change. And this one is not easy, because growth creates distance. When God becomes your center, your standards change. You love more deeply, but you also see more clearly. You recognize which relationships are building you and which ones are slowly draining you. And here's a hard question. How many relationships are you holding on to just because you're afraid to be alone? How many times have you stayed silent just to keep peace while losing yourself? Putting God first breaks that pattern. You stop living for approval. You stop forcing connections. You stop shrinking to fit environments that no longer reflect who you're becoming. And yes, some people will leave. Some will misunderstand you. But the right people will grow with you, not pull you away from your purpose. Fifth shift, your identity becomes stable. Most people build their identity on unstable things: opinions, achievements, comparison. And when those things change, they feel lost. But when God is first, your identity roots in something unshakable. Not in what you do, but in who you are. And that changes everything. You stop chasing validation. You stop comparing yourself constantly. You stop questioning your worth every time something goes wrong. Instead, you walk differently, with quiet confidence. Not loud, not arrogant, but grounded. Because your value is no longer negotiable. Sixth shift, discipline begins to grow. Putting God first is not a one-time decision, it's daily. And some days, it will feel easy. Other days, it will feel like a struggle. But every time you choose Him again, you are building something. Consistency. And consistency changes everything. You become more intentional with your time, more focused in your actions, more aligned in your habits. And slowly, discipline in your spiritual life starts to impact every area of your life. You stop talking about change, and you start living it. Seventh shift, your perspective transforms. Before God is first, life feels limited. Problems feel like punishment. Delays feel like failure. Pain feels meaningless. But when God becomes your foundation, you start seeing differently. You may not understand everything, but you trust that nothing is wasted. You stop asking, "Why is this happening to me?" And you start asking, "What is this building in me?" And that shift changes your life, because now you're not just going through life, you're growing through it. And here's what I want to leave you with. Putting God first will not make your life perfect, but it will make it aligned. And alignment is more powerful than control. Because control breaks you, alignment carries you. Jesus said, "Seek first the kingdom of God and His righteousness." Matthew 6:33. Not second, not when you have time, not when everything else is done. First. So ask yourself one last question. what is currently first in my life, that is not God. And are you ready to move it? Not tomorrow. Not when things calm down. Now. If this message spoke to you, don't ignore it. Write it. Declare it. God, I choose you first, because the moment you stop living from your plans and start walking in His, everything changes. Slowly, deeply, completely. And that is where real peace begins.